Let us begin. 同学们好。
老师好。
And that, courtesy of Rita, is how one's supposed to pronounce it. Thank you, Rita. So welcome, everybody. It is Monday, the 24th of January. We're doing Young Family Tai Chi Chuan first section. Today, we will be continuing our work on Grassbird's Tail. We'll be doing Rollback. I just want to apologize again for the poor connection that we had last week. There are a couple of things that I will repeat. Actually, I had a couple of requests. So I will be talking about the Tai Chi and what that is again, and I will be reviewing the routing again. If there's anything else that somebody would like me to repeat, please let me know. You can let me know now. Or in the course of the class. So is there anything that anybody would like to have repeated from last time? Okay, not seeing anything. The other thing I just wanted to mention, and I'll probably mention this again in a couple of weeks, is about questions. So all questions are welcome. Even if you're not sure exactly what your question is, ask it anyway. It's almost 100% sure that you're not the only person who's puzzled about that particular thing. So you're doing other people a favor if you ask a question. I may not answer questions in full detail during the class. I may leave some of it to answer after the class, but please do ask your questions. So let us begin with our warm-ups. So I will mirror you. And so if you're facing the screen, this will be your left arm. Up and down. So we're starting feet together. We'll step out. I will call the movements, and it's 2 8 counts for each of them. So 25 warm-ups. Step foot out to the right, to the left, shoulder width apart, hands on hips, looking to left and right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, forward, back, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, side to side, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, flapping palms, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, flapping in, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, flapping out, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4. Shoulders twist, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4. Shoulders back, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4. Arms push apart, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4. Flapping palms, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4. Flap out the sides, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4. Push up, stoop down, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4. Flap left and right, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4. Flap in front, 7, 8. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4. Arm stretch, rotate, step, step. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4. To the right, step, step, 1, 2. 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4. Clenched fist jump, step, step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4. Heel step out, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4. Push up and down, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4. Back step, swing out, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4. Back step, pull down, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4. Back step, hands clap, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4. Tiptoe back swing, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4. Marching step, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4. 2 more sets, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, and we're done, 7, 8. And there we are. So, oh, by the way, my little microphone pack, at some point the battery's going to run out and you will lose audio. Please let me know if you can't hear me, and that's a problem. So I strongly encourage you to do warm-ups before class. I do them before class. So this is the last time I'm going to do the warm-ups in class. Starting next week, I will actually be doing the warm-ups in this classroom starting about 7 or 8 minutes before the hour. It takes about 5 minutes. So please do join me if you want to do the warm-ups with me or do the warm-ups yourself. So are there any questions about the warm-ups? Okay, so as you've seen, the pattern for our classes is that we do some still practice and then we do our moving practice. So let us begin with our still practice. We'll start in the stance we've been doing, feet shoulder width or a bit wider, feet parallel, pointing to the front, legs sinking, arms in front, nice big round circle. Let's start at the top and we'll talk about the 4 essentials for body posture. So feel your head light, empty, energetic, pushing up. And at the same time, the rest of your body is suspended from your head. So below the neck, everything is hanging down. The second one is focus on that hanging down. So shoulder blades down the back of the ribs. Feel your elbows dropping. Now we're going to look at the third one. Absorb the chest, round the back. Do that by feeling a pulling out at your elbows. That's going to pull open your back, both sides of the spine. And also then feel your fingertips pulling from the elbows to the front. So there's a big circle. And last, number 4, feel your waist relaxed. That means your hips are dropping straight down. You may need to tilt a little bit at the hip crease, tilt your torso forward to make that work. That's a minute. At any time, if your arms get tired, you can drop them, rest them here for a few moments, bring them up. If you need to, you can actually hold them a little bit lower. What we talked about last week is breathing. We talked about abdominal breathing. So the second part of still practice, or one of the purposes of still practice, is to learn how to do abdominal breathing. So take 3 soft, slow inhalations and exhalations through your nose, breathing in and breathing out, and see if you can feel your abdomen expanding as you breathe in, and then contracting as you breathe out. Tonight, when you lie in bed on your back, just watch your abdomen moving as you breathe. And that's what we're learning to do. We're learning to see what the most free flow is that we can get in our breathing. That's 2 minutes. And so just see what your breathing is. Try and adjust your stance. So for example, if you lean back a bit, does your breathing get easier or harder? If you really tighten up the circle of your arms, does the breathing get easier or harder? If you have your head back a bit or forward a bit. So use your breathing as a diagnostic to improve your posture. So we're coming up for 3 minutes. And it's roughly at about this time for many people that your body starts adjusting by itself. So if you can do this a few times a week, that will really help your Tai Chi Chuan, because we want everything we're doing in this stance in our form as we do the moving practice. So unwind. There are different ways of doing standing practice. We've done the feet parallel. I want to show you the bow stance. So we'll start with one foot pointing to the corner, then the other one shoulder width apart as long as you can easily bring it back, foot pointing to straight, 60% on the front leg slightly bent, back leg straight but not locked, arms rounded in front. And so your chest is square to the front. So let's do the checks again here. Head up. So even though your torso is tilted forward, the front of your face is vertical because you're pushing up with the top of your head. And the rest of your body is suspended. Second, feel your shoulder blades dropping, elbows falling. Third, absorb your chest, round the back. So that same feeling of pulling your back like it's a bow that's being extended by the string, which is from your fingertips to your wrists. And now feel your waist relaxing, your weight dropping down. That was a minute, so let's just come out of that one. With all the practice that we do, start slowly and just keep going. So let's do the other side. Foot out to the corner, step forward, shoulder width apart, as long as is right for you. Come into your bow stance, 60% on the front, 40% on the back. Knees not over the toes, so you should be able to see your toes when you look down. Arms in front. So now you can do the checks, but I want us now also to check our footwork and our hip position. So check that you have weight over the bubbling well. So do you have equal weight front and back between the heel and the ball, both on the front foot and the back foot? Feel that your crotch is rounded so that your knees and toes are in the same line, particularly the back leg. Make sure your crotch is rounded. And then make sure that your hip is centralized so that your tailbone is over the line, is between the two lines that your heels make the rails that you're standing over. So not leaning, when we tend to lean too much towards the front leg, hip centralized. And in the last 20 seconds, just take a few breaths and see what that feels like. And relax. So we'll be doing this every week as a reminder, and I hope that you'll be able to find time during the week to do this for yourself. It's often nice to go from your standing practice into moving practice. So let's just go straight into moving practice. I'm going to face the same direction as you. So the front for us, where the screen is for you, where the audience might be, for example, we call that the front, or if we're using military clocks, that's the 12 o'clock direction. We're going to do ward off left, and we're going to end up looking at the right side, which is the 3 o'clock direction. So we're in prepare. Legs straight but not locked, arms by the side of the legs, middle finger on the seam of your pants, if you're wearing pants, so down the middle of your thighs. Do your checks, head up, shoulders down, elbows down, chest absorbed, waist relaxed. Opening, rotate and lift the arms at the same time, lift arms to shoulder height, palms shoulder width apart, and then rotate down, pressing down shoulders, elbows, wrists, keeping the palm parallel to the floor. Finish with your palms in front of your hips. Ward off left, shift your weight slightly to the left with body turning. Open your right toe to the corner, hands separate. Sink your weight down to the right as the right hand goes up and the left hand makes a nice round shape. Step out in front of you with your chest turning to the front. Now shift your weight forward. The left arm comes up, the right arm goes down. Check your final posture here. So check your fundamentals, your foundation. Do you have a good bow stance? Crotch rounded. Your torso is upright, so your hips are pointing more than corner. Your left arm is pointing to the right side, 3 o'clock direction. Your right hand, tiger's mouth, is pointing at the left forearm center. Ward off right. Shift your weight slightly to the right. With body turning, turn the arms. The arms don't change. Left toe now to corner. Now with your waist turning, both arms rotate. Grab towards the left, look towards the left. Now close your arms, leg comes in, steps out, root, arms are closed. Heel, ball, toe, bend knee as the arms come up. Check your closing posture. You should be in a good bow stance, head up, shoulders down, elbows down. Make sure that you have space in your armpits, particularly the left armpit. That will allow you to have your chest rounded. And relax. We'll do that again. I'll do it with a slightly different angle, so I'll do it from this side. Prepare. Opening. Rotate and lift. At the top, you've got this round shape in your arms, hollow to the bottom. Then as you start coming around, it reverses, so now it's hollow at the top. Push down, finishing with the palms in front of the hips. Shift weight slightly to the left. With body turning, open the right toe, hand separate, left hand forward, right hand back. Sit your weight as the right hand comes up, left hand down. Step out straight, shoulder width apart. Lift with the left, down with the right. Finish looking to the side. Check that your shoulders are dropping and your head is up. And relax. Okay. We'll review ward off left again a little bit later. I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about Tai Chi, one of the things that got lost in our bit storm last week. We do Tai Chi Chuan, which is Tai Chi fist, Chuan. So the question is, what is Tai Chi? I'm not going to show the slide again, but the theory comes from Taoism, which is very old. 3rd or 4th century before the Common Era. And the idea of Taiji is that Taiji comes from Wuji, and Wuji means the ultimate nothingness. So there was nothing. And from nothing, Wuji, we got everything, which is Taiji. So Taiji is the big everything. And Taiji, everything separated out. There was complete stillness, and it's separated out into movement. And what we get then is yin and yang. Well, yin and yang, I'll never get the tones right, but I can always try. And so let's just think about, there are many, many of these complementarities of yin and yang, and there are 3 things which they all have in common. Each is defined in terms of the other, each can neutralize the other, and each, when it reaches its extreme, turns into the other. So let's just take stillness and movement. So movement really is defined in terms of stillness, and stillness is defined in terms of movement. It's through the one that you know the other. Secondly, if something is really agitated, how do you neutralize that? By becoming still. If you're really still and down and stuck, you neutralize that by movement. Another thing is, let's say you're really, really busy and you are the ultimate of busy. You get exhausted, and that busyness, that movement turns into quiescence, turns into stillness. You go to bed, you sleep, and in the morning, it turns into movement again. And what I love about the first movement in the form, opening, in fact, opening is everything I have just said. So I start here, there's nothing. It's stillness. I start moving. There's movement. It's up. I breathe in. Turns into coming down. I breathe out. And then I stop at the end. And I go back to stillness. So I went from stillness to movement to stillness. So that is Taiji, which is, as in the old saying, Taiji, being the daughter of Wuji, is the mother of yin and yang. So yin and yang, which is the principle in everything we do in Taiji Chuan, comes from Taiji. That's what we're always looking for. So are there any questions about that? Okay, good. So let us now talk a little bit about what we didn't well, what I covered but got lost last time, which was rooting. So when we do footwork, there are 3 things about footwork. We've talked about, where do you put your feet? Where do you put your hips? What's the location? What's the weight? Then we talked about movement. So you're going in this direction, then you're moving in another direction. So this is moving. And then the last part is rooting. So what I'd like you to do is to perform a bow stance. And let's talk about rooting. You can face towards the front. I'm going to do it side on just so that you can see me moving perhaps a little bit better. So rooting has 2 parts. The relationship of push and support between the feet and what we call central settle down. So when you are standing in your bow stance, you're pushing backward with the front foot and the back foot is pushing forward. And if you actually move your hips backwards and forwards just slightly, you should feel both feet are pushing against each other. If I go back, and so now I'm in the 60% of the back, 40% in the front, again, I have this relationship between my feet. Both my feet are solidly rooted to the ground. They are in a relationship to each other. I'm just going to change feet. You might want to change feet as well. Now let's talk about central settle down. Start in a forward bow stance. Move your weight back and stop in this position. Now to go forward, push with the back leg. And in order to stop yourself falling over, you're going to have to engage the thighs on your front leg, which will then push back. Likewise, I'm now going to move back. I push with the front, and then when I get to where I want to stop, I actually push the other direction with my back leg. So I push and stop, push and stop, push and stop. And so what you should feel when you do that is it's almost like a spring. When I push back, I start in the front, move back to stop myself. I push with the back leg, and actually a pulse goes to my front leg, and I feel it in my front leg. Similarly, I push forward. I stop myself with the front leg, and I feel the pulse going back into my back leg. As you do that, it'll feel as if you're actually settling in the middle. So when you're here, that springiness at the beginning and the end is central settle down. And the purpose of central settle down, the purpose of rooting, is so that we are actually well connected to the ground, which is where our strength ultimately comes from. If we want to absorb an opponent's energy and then give something back to them, we want to make sure we're solidly grounded and we're not slip sliding around. So that is rooting. We'll talk about rooting and central settle down throughout the whole form. I just wanted to introduce it today. Good. Are there any questions about that? Nope. Good. So let us review what we did last week. So let's just start again at the beginning, and then we will review ward off left. So starting looking in the front, forwards direction, 12 o'clock direction, we do opening. We do ward off left. Now we're going to do ward off right. That's what we studied last week. So let's just go through the parts and pieces of ward off right. So first, the footwork. Shift weight back slightly, turn the left toe to the corner. Both feet are now pointing to the corner, feet are parallel. Shift your weight onto the left, bring the right foot in, step it out again, shoulder width apart, heel ball toe, bend knee, and you're finishing in this forward tilted bow stance position. Do that again. Okay. So I'm starting in ward off left. My torso is upright. I'm in this position. I'm going to shift my weight slightly to the right. With my body turning, turn my left toe in. I'm now going to step with my right foot. If you look at your feet, you'll see that the distance between your feet is more than shoulder width. That's a cue that we bring the foot in and then step out again. Heel ball toe, bend knee, and we're going to end up in a ward off shape. So our chest is going to be slightly to the diagonal, so not quite straight. Okay. Now let's talk about the arm movements. So we've done ward off left. Shift weight back, turn the body to the right. Arms don't change. Now I'm going to rotate my waist, and both hands are going to turn. My left hand is going to do a grab towards the left. My right hand is going to make a ward-off shape. I'm going to close my arms and step. This is the coordination point. Arms closed, rooted. So feel rooting in your right heel. Heel ball toe, bend knee. Final position with the right arm. Your right elbow is over your right knee. The center of your right forearm is in the center of your body. That's where your energy point is. You're looking straight ahead. The left palm is fingertips pointing towards the right forearm center and about a fist width between your fingertips and the forearm. So I'll do it from this position so that you can see what it looks like from here. Let's do it one more time. And I want to set up an exercise I want to teach you today. So we're in ward off left. I'm looking to the side. Shift my weight, body turning, the arms turn with the body. Now as I sit towards the left, both arms rotate. Grab with the left, nice round ward off shape with the right. Bring your weight back, close and step out. Your right heel touches first with the edge of the heel and then feel the weight on the whole ball of your heel as you root. Then as you push with the back leg, heel, ball, toe, bend knee, and you're finishing in ward off right. Okay, so a number of times here I've actually talked about the body turning, but I've also talked about the waist turning. And so this is a series of exercises we're going to start doing today. We're going to use it actually very much so today when we do the rollback movement. So this is, for those of you who were with us last time, I said, nice if you had a chair. So this is where you use your chair. So we have a chair. I'm going to use a chair. If you don't have a chair, you can stand. If you are going to stand, what I suggest you do is make sure that your crotch is rounded so that you don't move your hips. That's why I'm going to sit in a chair. So the idea of sitting in the chair with both my hip bones nice and hard and square on the base of the chair is that I can move my upper body without moving my hips. All right, so let us begin. I want you to cross your arms in front of your chest. So just a nice square in front of your chest. We're going to rotate that whole box. So I don't want you to move the arms. I want you to move your chest. So if you are facing the screen, I'm going to first turn towards your left side. Just rotate that whole box, rotate your chest to the left, come to the center, to the right, to the left, to the right, left, right. One more, left, right. I recommend, again, don't do too many of these if you're not used to it, because your back will thank you in the long run, but may complain in the short run. So what we're trying to do here is we're moving our chest while keeping our hips in the same position. By analogy, I can move my head while keeping my chest in the same position by turning on my neck, So here, this is the same thing. I'm going to turn my lower spine, my waist, in other words. So let's try that again. One to the left, one to the right, to the left, to the right. And you can keep looking towards the front, but of course, your neck can allow you to move your chest, and your head keeps looking in the same direction. Okay, we call this horizontal movement or horizontal rotation because you're moving in this plane. Now, your spine can move in all sorts of directions. We're going to be learning many of them over the coming weeks. Let's start simple. So put your arms out. Imagine that you're holding on, that your palms are on a counter, and you are going to move your whole chest. That's towards your left, center, towards the right. So I don't want you to do this. The whole chest goes sideways by your lower spine moving. That's 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Now I can also move my spine in another direction. So imagine that now I'm touching the counter here. My fingers aren't going to move. They're going to move slightly, but I'm going to move my chest forward and back, forward and back. So push, as I push out your solar plexus, push your solar plexus back, push it out and push it back. We'll be doing more and more variations of these in order to learn and train our waist. But what I want to talk about is, what is the function of this? Why do we do this? We say that the waist leads the limbs. So by moving the waist, our limbs move. So let's start in this position, arms out to the side, and just turn in a horizontal direction. So you see that as I turn my waist, my arms are moving. So I can move my waist from side to side, and my arms are moving. So we call this swinging. The waist is making the arms swing. We can also do a rotate. So have your arms hanging down, one palm forward, one palm back. Now turn your chest towards the closed palm, which is for me this one, and open it. So rotate your whole arm, other side. So as you turn your chest, you rotate your arms. Rotate, 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 and stop. Now, keep your chest pointing in what's probably towards the right for you. Flip your palms. Now, turn towards the palm that is open to close it. Other way. Rotate, 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 rotate. And in fact, you can rotate with your arms in any position, and over time, we'll practice all of these. The last thing I want to show you is we've done swing, we've done rotate. Now we're going to combine them. We're going to do swing and rotate. And swing and rotate is key to rollback, the movement we're learning today. So start with one hand up, palm out, the other one palm towards you. Swing and turn both arms so that the outside hand has the palm forwards. Swing, rotate. Swing, rotate. Swing, rotate. So the palm that's on the outside is pointing out towards the front. Swing, rotate. The palm that's closest to your chest is palm towards you. Swing, rotate. And this is the whole arm moving. And what's making the whole arm move is your waist rotating. And relax. So for those of you who are practicing this, what you can do over time, and now would be a good time to just make sure that you're relaxed, is start doing it as a standing practice. If you have a chair that's narrow enough, I would recommend actually starting your standing practice with your knees locked over the chair. That way you can be sure that you're not cheating by moving your hips. Then you can take the chair away, and then you can practice here. The reason why you want to keep your hips stable is you don't want to twist your knees in as you turn your chest. You want to keep crotch rounded and stable. Okay, so we are pretty much ready to start learning rollback, but before we do that, any questions? Okay, not hearing any questions. So, let me just demonstrate this movement. I'll talk you through the elements of it. I will ask Susan to help me demonstrate the applications. Not quite yet, though. Thank you, Susan. Susan is ready to roll, even though she's the one who's actually taking the application, not giving it today. Okay. So we started ward off left, ward off right. So get into your ward off right position. You're facing the right side of the room, the 3 o'clock direction. You're in a bow stance. Your torso is tilted slightly. Your right arm is a quarter circle in front of your body, and you're facing that direction. You're facing the forward direction. Roll back is turn the chest, rotate the chest in the horizontal direction, and rotate both your arms. Then sit back as you come, swing to the other direction. Let me show that again. So you're going to do a rotate, a swing rotate with the arms to the corner, and then pull, or actually roll back down. So I am going to practice this with you, and I'm going to mirror you. This is always a bit of a crapshoot because some people love it and some people hate it. We can talk about this after the class. So imagine you have done ward off right. So if you're facing the screen, your right leg is forwards. You're doing a ward off right. So this is our starting position. If you're doing the form, demonstrating the form, you're facing the right side of the room, the 3 o'clock direction. So let's first talk about the footwork. The easy part of the footwork is that our feet are not going to move. However, what is going to happen is that we're going to sit back our weight. So we're going to start forwards. So 60% on the front leg, the right leg. Then we're going to sit back our weight so that we have actually about 70% of the weight on the back leg. So we're going to start 6% on the front, 40% on the back. That 40% on the back is going to become 70%. Now remember, I was talking about push and support. I want you to be sure that when your weight is back and you've only got 30% on the front, you are still able to push back with that front foot so that both feet are still in a relationship to each other. So again, we're going to start forward. Now let's just check our crotch rounded. Make sure that your knee and toe are in line, both sides, both legs. Sit back your weight. Again, check that your right knee and your right toe, your right knee and your right toe are in a line, and your left knee and left toe are in a line. Do that again. The temptation, what you should not do is this, because you're going to be turning your waist. The temptation is to sit back and have your right knee come in. Make sure that your crotch is rounded. Likewise, when you come back, don't have your back knee come in to make your crotch close. Keep your crotch nice and open. Okay. Again, we've started in ward off right. Now let's talk about what our waist is going to be doing without worrying about the arms. So we're in this position, just go into your hugger tree shape. So your chest is pointed on the diagonal. It's not quite to corner, but not straight either. As you sit back, so we're starting here. The sitting back is part 2. Part 1 is you're going to turn your chest to the right. Start again. So this is your starting position. Turn the chest to the right so that your chest is pretty much square. 2, sit your weight back. Turn your chest. Your chest is more than corner. Start again at the front. Chest slightly on the diagonal. Rotate the waist to the right. Sit back your weight. Chest comes all the way to the left. Again. Chest to the right. Shift weight back. Rotate to the right. So the key point here is the first movement, the first turn, we don't do anything with our legs. We turn to the right. Then the second one, 2 things happen at the same time. We are sitting back and we're rotating our waist at the same time. And this is why it's so easy to lose your crotch rounded, because you're concentrating on this movement of your chest to the left and you forget about your crotch rounded, and long term that's really bad for your knees. Okay, So that is the body movement. So now let's talk about the arms at last. So I'm in ward off right. The first thing I'm going to do is that swing and rotate. So I am going to turn my chest to the right and both my arms are going to rotate. Come back to the starting position. Both arms are going to rotate. Back to the start. So let's talk about the right arm. So you start with the right arm, the palm towards you, turn and rotate. The palm is pointing towards the corner, the right palm. The left palm starts, it's pretty much a push in front of you, palm away from you. Rotate both arms, and you're going to find that your palm is facing you. Again. So rotate both arms as you turn your waist. So relax. One of the things that is important when we do this swing rotate in young family style is when we rotate the palms, the whole arm, and in fact, it's the waist that's making the arm turn, that's making the wrist turn. We don't do this. We don't come across and then suddenly do that. It's a rotation it starts immediately. Both hands start rotating as soon as my waist starts turning. When my waist finishes, I finished my rotation. Okay, let's get back into that posture. So I'm mirroring you, so you're with this should be you with your right leg forward. I should look as if I'm in a mirror. So 1, rotate both arms, turn the chest almost to corner. Well, your chest is to the square direction, your left arm is to corner. Now you're just going to do a swing. Your arms are going to come from right to left and up to down. Again, start in ward off right. 1, rotate both arms, turn the chest to square, left arm pointing to the corner. Sit back your weight, sweep from right to left, slightly up to down. Your final position, your chest and your hips are perhaps more than square. Your right arm is pointing toward the corner, and your left arm is in front of you, fingertips pointing at forearm center. Again. 1, rotate both arms, turn to the right. 2, sit back your weight and pull down. Again. 1, rotate the chest, rotate the arm. 2, turn, rotate the chest, but the arms don't move. One of the things for those of you who have practiced a while is you'll know that one of the essential principles of Tai Chi Chuan, especially Yang style Tai Chi Chuan, is that we move continuously without interruption. And so one of the things that you could say is, when we were doing this movement, my movement wasn't continuous. I was getting to here and then stopping and then coming back and stopping. And the way that we've started doing this exercise, that is true. We're going to learn how to do this movement so that it always moves in a continuous circle, so that your movement doesn't stop and come back. So the way that I want you to practice that here, to begin with at least, we're in a right bow stance, ward off right. Rotate both arms, turn the chest to square. Now, when you come back, don't just come back, make a little circle. So a little circle down. And that circle actually is coming from your waist. But if your waist doesn't do that yet, just imagine it with your arm pulling down. Again, we're in right ward off. 1, turn the waist, rotate both arms, left arm to the corner, looking in the direction sorry, of the right arm. The right arm is to the corner. The left arm is fingertips pointing to right forearm center. Now, shift your weight to the left, pulling down and looking at the other corner. And relax. So I'd like to ask Susan, if she's still around, to join me. And I want to talk a little bit about what rollback is. We've talked about ward off, and ward off is essentially building a wall. It's essentially a way of deflecting the opponent's energy. Rollback, the Chinese for rollback, which I'm going to mangle and I apologize, is Lu, and the English translation that we use, the standard translation, in fact, is rollback, but the meaning, I believe, is much more like stroking. It's like stroking your cat. You always stroke in the direction of the fur, or if you're stroking your beard, you stroke in the direction of your beard. And in this case, you're following the direction of your opponent's energy. So the current, so when you're doing a rollback, you're going in the direction of your opponent's energy. So let me show that with Susan, and then we can practice it a few more times. Okay, so let's just, yep, I think we're good. So let's just first review ward off. So Susan punches, and I do a ward off. I connect, and I ward off out. She punches on the other side. I ward off out. She punches again. I ward off out. Now, I can do a similar kind of deflect, but I can do it with rollback. So she's going to punch. I'm actually going to connect and just follow her energy down. She comes on the other side. I connect and draw the energy down. She comes on this side. I connect and draw the energy down. So this movement, connecting and drawing down, is rollback, stroking, Lu. So let's just talk about what the how the technique of rollback. So that's rollback energy, is following the movement. There's also the rollback technique, which is the martial art technique. So let's say Susan is going to punch. I do, actually, let's get a little bit closer. Yeah. So actually what I might do is I might do a ward off and I connect. Now, I can't actually do the ward off movement because her elbow is going in the wrong way. I don't have a wrist lock. But what I can do is I can put my hand behind her arm, and then I'm going to pull her down. So let's do that again. So she's going to come in. I'm going to go behind her arm and pull down. So let's show it from this side. So I'm going to connect here. So you can see that the center of my forearm is connecting with the center of her upper arm. And I'm going to pull down in that direction. If you want to think about it in the form, so let's say let's say I managed to get into a ward off right position here. So I'm in ward off right. Susan is clever. She knows how to counter it. How does she counter it? She turns her elbow up. So when she turns her elbow up, I yield in that direction. And I put my forearm center above her upper arm center, and then I pull down. I'll do that again. Okay, come in. So I'm trying to do a ward off. She counters. I follow the counter. So this is where I'm turning to the right. Now I pull down to the left. So these are the two movements, absorbing her energy as she counters and then countering myself with the pull down. Okay. Thank you, Susan. Okay, so let us practice that a few more times together. And then we may have time for Marion to model, and then I can have a little watch and see. Let me just see if I can hide some of the people who are not on video, that I can see the rest of you slightly better. Okay. So let's start. We're in ward off right. Right foot forward. right arm, nice quarter circle. Energy point is the inside of the forearm center. I've got ward off, right. Roll back, 1, turn the chest, rotate both arms. 2, sit back to the left, both arms come down and to the left. Again. Roll back, rotate both arms, rotate the waist to the right. Sit back the waist as the waist turns to the left, arms come down, and I'm looking to the left. Again. 1, rotate both arms, rotate the chest. You're finishing with your chest to the square direction, your right arm to the corner. Sit back your weight, keep your crotch rounded as you finish with your chest more than corner, your right arm to the corner, left fingertips to forearm center. Check that your shoulders are down, elbows are down, head up, rounded. Very good. So, one last thing before I watch you practice. We talk about energy points. An energy point is where we connect to the opponent. So that's how we actually make things happen. So when we are doing ward off right, the energy point is the inside of the forearm center. When I'm coming around, so I'm now behind Susan's arm, the energy point is the front of the forearm here, and I'm pulling down. So the energy point moves slightly from just inside the center of the forearm to the middle of the forearm. In practical use, if you do the martial arts application, you can do the rollback, probably anything from your palm to your upper arm. But when you imagine an opponent, always imagine in doing the sequence so that your form is standard, always imagine that it's the center of your forearm that's doing this. The other hand, the energy point of your left hand is the palm because you're doing a hold so that you can do this movement pulling down. Very good. So what I'd like to do now is to spotlight Marion, and if you could, Marion will just do the movement from ward off right to roll back. Do that a few times, and please follow Marion. And let me just see if there's anything I should remind you of. There we go. So ward off right, roll back. And ward off right. Again, start with ward off right. Go to rollback, ward off right, turn to the right, both arms rotate, then come back across to the left, just a swing. Very nice. One more. Ward off right. Now roll back, both arms rotate, turn the chest, and then pull down, up to down. Very good. Thank you, Marion. One thing that I need to make sure I underline here, let's do it in this direction, is the position of your left hand. So when we start in ward off right, fingertips are pointing to right forearm center. You're going to rotate both arms when you're in this direction to the corner. And actually, I think it's probably better like this. When you're in this position, this round shape ends up with the fingertips pointing to forearm center. Then keep this shape, but go from up to down. So again, from here, rotate, fingertips pointing at forearm center, now from up to down as you pull back. Good. So let's practice the whole form from the beginning together to where we've finished, where we got to, and then we'll call it good. So I'll go in the same direction as you. Prepare. Opening. Grass bird's tail. Ward off left. Body turning, open the right toe. Sit the weight, right arm up, left down. Step out straight, chest slightly to the front. Lift with the left, pull down with the right. Torso up, facing the right side. Ward off right, with body turning. Turn the arms, left toe to the corner. Now turn the waist. Both arms rotate, grab to the left, close and step. Root, heel ball toe, ward off right. Roll back. Both arms rotate as the chest turns, chest to square. Now sit back your weight from up to down and finish looking towards the corner direction, right arm in the corner direction. And stop. There we go. We've run a little bit long. I apologize for that. But let us close class. If there are any questions, please do stay behind, and I'd be happy to help with questions. And good. Yes, we will have somebody Rita will help us to model the response for us properly. 同学们，再见。
老师再见。
再见，再见。
Thank you, everybody. Great practice. Wonderful to see you. See you next week.